Hello, this is Kim Butler. Today we're going to talk about using or spending your death benefit while you're living. That's right, this is about you and your death benefit, and specifically for people in their 70s and even 80s. The example we're going to use is age 70, but it could even be done at 65 or even early 60s, because the capability of spending your death benefit while you're living is very real, but it is a tough concept to get our arms around. So today I'm going to be using a calculator called the Distribution Calculator from truthconcepts.com. And this software is available to anybody, but it's particularly helpful in proving to us that the presence of death benefit can help us spend other assets more effectively. I've written about this quite extensively in our small book called Live Your Life Insurance. And the entire second section talks about using or spending your death benefit while you're living. And you really just need to know one sentence, and that is that you can spend or use your death benefit while you're living by paying down assets. Think of the death benefit as a permission slip. There's even an article called Permission Slip written by a CPA 10 or so years ago that gives us some of these examples as well, the same that I have covered in the book. But in today's conversation, we're just going to pay attention to one, maybe two particular strategies. So the product is whole life insurance with the paid up edition rider, and the strategy is paying down an asset base so that you can get more income. So while a lot of conversations about income focus on the cash value, and this will use the cash value, it's the paying down of assets or the spending down of assets, which I'll show you, instead of the typical strategy of interest only. So on the left-hand side, we have a person that's age 70 that does not have any life insurance. They have $2.5 million of assets, just a variety of assets, typically not including their home. These would be called investable or liquid assets, but they're investments. They could be a combination of stocks, bonds, mutual funds, CDs, even real estate. We're going to assume that that investment, that overall portfolio, is earning about 4% after fees, not after tax. We still have our income taxes, as you can see here, based on a tax table. But this 4% is after fees. And what we're going to do is show this person at age 70 without any life insurance withdrawing $100,000 from their account on an interest-only structure. So here you can see their estate value, $2.5 million, their 4% interest rate, their $100,000 gross withdrawal, and then the schedule of tax dollars that they have to pay. So this is their actual tax payment for a net spendable income of $73,000. And we'll just scroll on down here. So the current age that I have here is 70 to basically 90, and then I'll go all the way out another 40 years, 90 to 109. Same deal, $73,000 of income. And while they still have the 2.5, because of course they don't know when they're going to die, this $73,000 of income gets drastically affected by inflation. So we'll scroll back up here and see if we can make this picture any better. And I'm going to, on the right-hand side now, take a look at somebody that would buy life insurance at age 70. And so now, let me turn the life insurance off for a minute so that you can see they have the same $2.5 million of an asset base. $2.5 million of asset, 4% interest rate. Everything's the same so far. Both people at age 70, both people healthy and able to qualify for insurance. They have what we're showing as a $220,000 withdrawal. And notice that their $2.5 million estate slowly decreases over time, takes about 17 years or so for it to go down to zero. Now, this could be a scary proposition if you didn't have the life insurance as a permission slip to spend or pay down this asset. That's what we're talking about. You're spending or paying down this entire $2.5 million. Now, I'm not showing the life insurance yet. I'll include that in just a minute. I want to show you something else. So we've got our 2.5 million all the way down. We've got our same 4% interest rate all the way down. You'll notice the gross withdrawal starts at 220 and also goes down because it's a function of the interest, but it's really more a function of the principal. And because our withdrawal is a combination of principal plus interest, the larger withdrawals down towards the bottom are mostly principal, and that causes our tax payment to go down. You'll notice the tax payment starts high at $26,000, same as the person on the left-hand side without life insurance, and goes down, down, down to zero every single year. That enables our net spendable income to remain at $193,000 throughout this entire time. So this, now I know it gets scary down here. Like I said, I have not included the life insurance yet. So this $193,000 is showing the net spendable income. And of course, if we compare the two, you can see that it is drastically different than the person that does not have any of the net spendable principal. They're only net spending interest. Now, when we add the life insurance, you'll notice that the net spendable income went down because we had to spend some money on life insurance. You'll also notice that the estate value goes up. And for most people, that's not the goal. So we'll get to that in a minute. But I do want to point out that we've added a little more than $1 million here. So let's go take a peek at the life insurance real quickly. So when we look at the life insurance, just ignore these numbers down here. Just look right up here. At the top right, we have a $110,000 premium plus paid up addition structure that goes into the life insurance for 10 years only. So it is a $1.1 million death benefit. That's including paid up additions. You'll notice the cash value is very, very low in the early years compared to what we've put in it. But you'll also notice in the later years that it gets much higher, goes up a little bit, and then it actually starts to come back down because of our withdrawals. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I just wanted you to see that you're spending $110,000 for the life insurance for 10 years only. Again, this is from the pay down of the asset, and that's creating a cash value and also a death benefit. And by the way, at age 70, this particular policy's internal rate of return is just at the 5% mark, a little bit above it. Okay, so going back to our distribution calculator, we can see the estate values going down. That's because of the pay down structure. So that's what you're remembering. You're paying down assets. You're taking the $2.5 million and you're paying $110,000 a year. So let me back up. You're taking the $2.5 million, you're taking out $220,000, paying $110,000 to the insurance company, paying some taxes, and getting a net spendable of $83,000, which of course is $10,000 more than the other person without the life insurance. And if we just scroll all the way down, we can see that over the entire 40-year period that we're looking at here, now I know 40 years sounds like a long time for a 70-year-old, but it actually is very reasonable these days that a healthy 70-year-old, which of course you'd have to be pretty healthy to qualify for the life insurance, could live well past age 100. So if we just look at this all the way down, you've got a total income greater of $400,000 over the time, but we're not done yet. So again, the principal points are you take some of your assets, you buy life insurance, you pay down or spend down your principal. Now, if we include the income from the other assets, which in this case are two things, and we scroll down here, we still see our net spendable income of $83,000, and it continues on that entire time, $83,000. And we'll notice that the tax payment actually starts to crawl back up there, and that's because we are doing two things. We are taking income from the life insurance. And so again, I will just show this to you. We are taking $60,000 a year from the life insurance. This is the permanent life insurance annual cash flow. This is money going in. These are negatives because they're premiums plus paid up addition contribution. And this is money coming out from the life insurance. This is just done as a withdrawal. This is $60,000 throughout this entire time. Not the $50,000, I'll get to that in a minute. This is $60,000 the entire time. And you'll notice that the cash value of the life insurance remains in force, but the death benefit is going down. So let me scroll back up here again. Notice this death benefit, because this is what you're doing. You're spending your death benefit. Yeah, you're getting to spend some of your cash too, but it's the presence of the death benefit acting like a permission slip for you to spend your other assets. So this death benefit, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, 6, 7, and then it starts to head down again, 1.6, 1.5, 1.4, 1.3, 1.2, and it crawls back on down to 1.2, which is actually still greater than what we started with. The cash value, you'll notice, is also going down, down, down. That's the whole point. It's moving around a little bit there, and that is enabling us to withdraw and also pay some tax for a net cash flow of $60,000. So that's an after-tax income. Now, I know a lot of people talk about borrowing to get income out of their life insurance policy, and that's fine, but this is just another strategy. It's something that you have to take a look at, which is better at the time. So this is a net withdrawal after tax. Now, as you can see, we've included one other thing here, and that is the idea of a reverse mortgage. This $50,000 is an illustration of a reverse mortgage, which would be done at age 85 on an approximate $1 million home. That would be $50,000 of tax-free income. So those two numbers together enable us to continue withdrawing money, and as a matter of fact, they even start to add to the account down here in the early age 100s. And again, the entire income over this time is $400,000 greater, and the estate is $4 million as opposed to 2.5. Now, we don't have to have the reverse mortgage. We can take that off and just pull a level amount, and then we don't pass on as much to the family. We're at 2.2 million, but you'll notice the income is still the 400,000. So that would be your choice. You could handle that either way. So again, this is just an example of how we can spend the death benefit while we're living. We are doing a pay down of this 2.5 million. I'll show that to you again. The 2.5 million up at the top for the $110,000 per year life insurance, creating the cash value. And what that does is it makes the life insurance, hold on a second, it makes the 110,000 life insurance, makes the account go from 2.5 to 0 over that period of time. And then when we add the life insurance, our net worth for the family goes up, and our income is actually higher. So in this case, you're actually doing good on both accounts, which means that we could probably push these numbers up a little bit, but we did it conservatively today just to make sure that we were absolutely going to be able to maintain that income stream. So again, the pay down, I'll take the life insurance off. You're paying down or spending down your assets and purchasing an amount of insurance. We did, this is again a $2.5 million estate. We did $1 million of insurance. There's not any great rules of thumb, but it does give you a perspective on the level of insurance that's appropriate. And again, if we look at the life insurance, we've put in about $1 million over this time. It's worth about $1 million of cash value and about $1.5 million of death benefit. And it's the death benefit that we're focused on, absolutely guaranteed, no more premiums. And that creates $60,000 from age 85 out to 109 with still $1.2 million of cash. And then this $50,000 was the reverse mortgage. So I tried to cover all the facts there again a second time just so that you could see it. But this is spending the death benefit while you're living, spending the death benefit while you're living. Again, covered in another example at liveyourlifeinsurance.com. And this is Kim Butler with Partners for Prosperity. I hope it's been helpful to you.